Hi everyone, coming to you from the yoga room. So I thought maybe I would just bring you into my personal little practice here. I just finished a workout. So just gonna do just a nice little flow, a little stretch, just to calm the body and the mind, especially during these crazy times. So if you'd like to find a seat, and if this is hard for you, feel free to maybe bring your legs out in front, or even straighten them, or you can sit on your knees if you would like, maybe prop something up underneath a pillow. Or you can even lay back all the way in Shavasana on your spine as well. So it's just comfortable to sit on a blanket for the ankles, and if the knees are really high, then maybe fold your blanket up behind you and sit up a little bit higher. So just find a comfortable seat or lay down. And then once you do, just allow your arms to rest either down by your side if you're laying or on your thighs. So that nice and tall, so we're not lounging into our lower back. So maybe just grab the knees, start to pull your heart through, lengthen through your spine. And then just noticing the inseam of your legs, if they're relaxed. And if you find that if you're seated and they're not relaxed, maybe grab some blankets or a little prop pillow to put underneath your knees and allow them to rest. So just close your eyes for a moment here and just take notice of your body in this posture. Start to feel through your glutes, your sit bones, your thighs, the inner thighs. Take a moment and squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs. So we're creating just a little bit of muscle tension here, and now relax them, just so we understand the difference of tension and relaxation. And start to notice the length of your spine. Feel into the lower back, making sure that we're lifting upward and we're not sinking down into our lower back. Traveling all the way up towards your shoulders. Take a moment, maybe even lift your shoulders towards your ears and then roll them down your back. And as you just did that, maybe you noticed your rib cage just pointed forward a little bit. See if you can pull your ribs in without curling your spine. So lengthen upward a little more, drop your ribs down towards your hip points. And then coming into our breath. Don't change anything on your breath. Just take a moment and notice your natural breath. Notice the length of your in-breath, the length of your out-breath. Just noticing if the breath feels short or tight or long and relaxed. Still taking notice. The breath can be an indicator of how we're arriving on our mat. If we've had a stressful morning or we feel rushed, then maybe the breath is short and it feels tense and tight. So just really allowing yourself here to find your place, to allow yourself to settle in, to let go, to be present. It's noticing the temperature of the breath as it enters your nostrils and as it exits. And as you start to settle in, start lengthening the breath. Again, we're not going to force the breath to be longer than the body's ready for. So count your in-breath. Maybe you land at a 4, 5, or 6. Exhale at that same count. And then continue with your breath. As you're breathing and starting to settle into your mat, into your practice, bringing your awareness now to your mental space? Is your mind still wandering out of your room? Let's see if we can bring the mind back. So the hardest part of yoga is taming our inner monkey, right? So if the mind is wandering around, allow the mind, your thoughts to follow your breath. So really turning yourself inward. Your name is the only thing on your to-do list. Let everything else go. And if thoughts do arise, and they will, just let them pass by. Try not to attach to them. Let's find 3 more rounds of breath here. Full in-breath, really fill up. Think upward on your in-breath. Exhale, ground yourself down into your practice, into your mat. Let's find 2 more rounds of breath, but find an audible exhale. One more round of breath. Let everything go you do not need on your exhale. You can blink your eyes open on your next in-breath. Bring your arms overhead, reach for the ceiling. And then on your exhale, take a forward fold. And as you start to come through movement now, allow yourself to ease into it. Think less is more. So I don't have to try to get my chest and my head right on the floor on this first one. Just take your time, use your hands as props, but drop your shoulders down. And just start to breathe now into your lower back, into the space of your hips. And take one more round of breath. Press into your fingertips. Start to lift your heart, push yourself back up. Take a moment, look at what leg is on top. Let's switch, but take a moment and shake your legs out. And come back in. Sit up nice and tall. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. In, breath lengthen upward. Exhale, settle into this new shape. 2 more rounds of breath. One more full in and out breath. In, breath, reach up. Maybe look up. Exhale, come forward. Soften your shoulders. So as we come into postures, think of it like climbing a ladder. You have to go one little step at a time, correct? So allow yourself that. Try not to get to the top of the ladder in one big jump. Allow the body to tell you when you can go deeper. Allow the breath to be your guide. So within a posture, if you start to hold your breath or the breath becomes like, then that is a sign that you've gone too far and you need to back out, or maybe the posture isn't for you at all. Take one more big round of breath here. Come up to your fingertips, lift your heart, push yourself back up. So we're gonna find a little twist now. Just start to move the body in, breath rise up. Exhale, move to your right. Lift, take one more in and out breath. In breath, bring it all the way up. And exhale, settle in on the other side. Take one full round breath. In breath, rise up. Exhale, move to the other side. Keep your eyes closed. Follow your breath. Let the shoulders soften down and away from the ears. One more each side. And breath rise all the way up. Take one more forward fold. Maybe this time you can walk the fingers out just a little bit further. Lower the heart and the head down to the ground. Soften the shoulders down. With each breath, feel the back of the rib cage expand outward. Soften in on your exhale. Take one more big breath. And breath, come up to your fingertips. Press yourself all the way up. Nice, we're gonna come into table. So bring yourself to your hands and your knees. And as we come through some cat-cows, open the fingers nice and wide. Before I get into my cat-cows, I like to warm up my wrists and my hands and just find some organic movement. I like to tuck the toes under. It's gonna open up the feet as well. So tuck your toes, open the fingers nice and wide, and just start swinging the hips around. Come forward into the wrist. And just taking notice here as you send the hip off to one side, swing back to your feet, find a nice little stretch, and then over to the other side. Just really feeling if there's any differences from your left to your right side. You come back through center, change your hands, and keep moving. I'm a little tight on this side. I'm going to pause and take a breath or two here. So this is your little practice if you're following me, and you don't have to. So listen to your body. If the left side feels tight, hang there for a moment. The right side feels tight, hang there. If the feet feel tight, sit back on your feet. So this is your time. Color outside the lines. Listen to your body. Come back through center when you're ready. Let's turn the fingers now towards our knees. So a little tip here. The closer the fingertips are towards your knees, the less pressure it is going to be on your wrist and your forearms. So you pick that. And if it's a little too much, maybe you just do one hand, prop yourself up a little bit here. Okay. So see where you're comfortable. And then find a little movement. Just gentle. Maybe you want to pause actually and breathe. We tend to forget about the smaller joints in the body. We love to stretch our hips and through our lower back and our chest, and these little tiny bones and muscles of the hands and the feet, they do the most work for us. They carry us, they push, they pull, they lift, they grab, run and jump. So it's just taking some time to say thank you. Stretch them out. All right, sit back on your toes if you can. So if sitting back like this is hard, there's too much tension, you can sit up like this. So pick what works best for you, and then just kind of stretch in through the feet, and take a moment and shake our hands. Shake them out, make circles. Sometimes I just like to open up my fingers, pull one finger back, get all the Rice Krispies out, the snap, crackle, and pops. Ooh, kind of poppy today. Maybe a little interlace, press them away. Switch the fingers. Your feet might be yelling at you. Come down to the ground. Untuck your toes, put the top of your feet on the ground and just bang them out. Feel free to shake through your ankles. And then we're going to set up for some cat-cows. So make sure your knees are under the hips and your hands, wrists. Hands are nice and wide on the floor, wrists are underneath your shoulders. Start with an in-breath. Lift your tailbone. Drop your belly. Pull your heart to your chin, your gaze through. On your exhale, round your tail. Round through your spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Your gaze can be at your belly button. And then in-breath, start with your tailbone. Lift. Pull the heart. Exhale, round. Push the floor away. In breath. Follow your breath. Close your eyes. Notice the articulation of the spine from your tail to your head. Take one more round of breath. Find a pause on the top, slow it down. Come back to neutral. Find child's pose. So in child's pose, we're just going to set the hips back on the heels, walk the fingers forward, drop your head. So a couple options, or you can keep your knees together, or you can bring your knees wide, bring your big toes together, set your hips back. Walk forward. You can come up on your fingertips, create a little bit more space, drop your heart, drop your forehead, relax your arms. And come back to your breath. Feel the rib cage expand outward, creating space with every in-breath. Exhale, allow yourself to soften, let go. Next in-breath, walk your hands over to the right corner of your mat, creating a nice little stretch on the left side of the body, and then sink down in, exhale. And with each breath, expand through the left side of the body, create space. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Moving to the other side of your mat. Nice and soften in. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Really expand through the right side of the body with the in-breath. Exhale, soften. And breath, make your way back to center. Exhale, settle in. 1 more full round of breath here. And gently bring your hands back under the shoulders. Press yourself up. Coming into our downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, press the hips up and back. Open your fingers nice and wide. So pressing through the knuckle mounds and fingertips, pushing your hips up and back. And this first one, just pedal your dog out. Come up on your toes, shake your head, bend the knees, maybe do a couple little squats here. Nice. Take a couple more rounds of breath. Come into your full variation of your downward facing dog. Turn the eyes of the elbows up. Take one more full in breath. Full exhale. And then looking at your toes, walk your hands back towards your toes, find a fold. Keep your knees bent, rest your belly on your thighs. Let your head fall towards the ground, tuck your chin, maybe grab opposite elbows, feel free to swing. You can also just keep your arms nice and heavy. Feel free to pedal your legs out here. So again, just tapping into what your body is feeling and what it's asking for. Take one more full round breath. On your next in-breath, bring your hands to your shins, half lift. So lengthen your spine, pause here, look down. So we're reaching our tail back, our crown forward. Take another in-breath. Exhale, fold. In-breath, hands to shins, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more time, in-breath, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet, in-breath, rise all the way up. We'll meet hands at heart center. Let's run through some halves through your Namaskar A. So in-breath, rise up. Exhale, bow forward. On your in-breath, half lift. Exhale, fold. In-breath, root through the feet, rise all the way up. Look up at your fingertips, maybe take a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Two more just like that. Follow your breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. In-breath, lift. Fold, exhale. In-breath, rise up. Hands to heart center. One more time, in-breath, rise up. Exhale, fold. Half lift in breath. Exhale, fold. In breath, rise all the way up. Hands to heart center. I'm going to take a moment here before we come into tree pose. I'm going to step forward just a little bit and find our Tadasana. Let's bring the hands down by our sides. I like to open my fingers and reach for the ground, creating energy. Pick your toes up and start to press into the mounds of your toes. Push your heels into the ground, even strengthen through your arches. So notice your feet, maybe roll forward and back, roll side to side. So finding our feet, I like to think of the feet like your roots. Then once you find your center, lower the toes. Draw the kneecaps up. Start to strengthen through your quadriceps, even your glutes. Lengthen through the side of your body. Let the shoulders relax down. Draw the ribs down and in. So we have this nice flat line between the ribs and the hip points. Reach the fingers towards the earth, creating nice energy now through the body. We're going to start on the left foot. So just bring the right toes to the ground. We're going to spin the right heel right above that left ankle here. So what happens here is I may just have shifted my hip out to the side. So that's going to dump into our hip joint. So really squeeze through your glute muscle and your quad muscle and tighten this leg up so that way we don't dump our weight into our hip and injure our hip. So maybe you stay right here. So most of your weight should be on the left leg. Your toes, I like to call a little kickstand. So you can stay right here, come to your breath. So you can settle the mind. Or if you'd like to take your tree a little further, you can come to your calf. So we never put the foot at the knee because we don't want to injure the knee by driving the knee out to the side. So you skip the knee and come to your thigh. And a cue here that if you put the foot into your thigh, drive the thigh into the foot into the thigh, and create a little energy between the two. As you do that, just make sure it doesn't drive your hip out. So keep your glute tight and your quad tight. Hands can stay down here. You can bring them at heart center. You can bring your branches up. Sometimes I just like to open the chest, keep my fingers wide, create that energy. Now, settle your breath. Settle your mind. Take 5 breaths here. When you're ready, hands to heart center. Come out nice and slow. Take a moment. Shake that out. Let's rebuild our nice, strong, standing foundation. Create our energy again. Lifting the toes. Find the center of your feet. Strengthen through your leg. When you're ready, spin the left heel over the right ankle. Again, tighten glute and quad. Then finding your variation. Remember, we're doing one step at a time up the ladder. We're not jumping to the top of the ladder. It's where we create injury. Each step matters. Whether it's in fitness or whether it's in yoga, allow yourself that time. This is where you get stronger. When you skip steps, you don't get stronger. Find your variation. It may be different, one side to the other. You take this thigh, press them into each other. Hands where you feel comfortable. I'm going to open my chest. Keep my ribs drawn down. Take 5 breaths here. Came out of that one. Lost my focus. When you're ready, come out. Thinking ahead and not staying present. Practice of yoga is real. Shake that out. Go take a moment here. Find your breath. Shoulders down. We're going to make our way to the ground. We're going to take a full serie. In breath, rise up. Exhale, fold. In breath, rise up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Take a pause right here. Push the floor away. Send your heels behind you. Option to come to your knees. Slightly roll forward. Bring in the chest just a little bit more in front of the fingers. Bend the elbows. Come down halfway. Bring the top of your feet to the ground. This is going to be an in-breath. Come up. Exhale, send the hips back. Take one more round of breath. Next in-breath, bring your right leg up behind you. Bend the knee, open the hip. Press equally through your hands. Next in-breath, reach the leg up behind you. Exhale, bring it all the way through. Stay low. Drop your back knee down. Lengthen through your spine and bring the top of the foot to the floor on your left leg. In-breath, rise up. Exhale, soften in. Take one more round of breath. And breath, just start to lengthen forward. Fingertips to the ground, tuck your back toes. Come all the way up into our high lunge. And breath, rise up. One more round of breath here. From here, spin your back heel down, turn into warrior two. Line up your heel in the arch. Make sure you're pressing through the pinky edge of your back leg, and your back leg is strong, so we don't want the knee, see my knee just shot forward, we don't want the knee to shoot forward. And then make sure, see my knee just went inward over my big toe, press it back. So you can see your big toe when you look down. Reach the arms opposite direction, gaze over second finger. Pull the ribs in, so we're not here. Nice, strong core midsection. Gonna find a little flow with this. In breath, straighten your front leg, reach up, look up. Exhale, come back in. Follow your breath, in breath, reach up. Exhale. In breath. In breath. One more time. Pause here. Keep the legs strong. Equal weight. Make sure the weight doesn't feel like you're more in the front leg. We're going to take a similar flow now, but with a little archer pose. So in the in-breath, straighten your front leg, reach back. Exhale, come forward. Reach up and back. Come forward. Slow your breath down. One more round of breath. Warrior two. Pause, soften the shoulders. Setting up for triangle, straighten your front leg. Reach your hips back, reach your fingers forward. Reach, reach, reach. Do not dump into your triangle. Keep reaching. When I can't reach anymore, that's where I'm going to pause. Bring my hand down towards my shin. Reach the top arm up. Gaze can be up, neutral down. So just making sure as you come into this, we're not way down here. See, now I'm not maintaining nice spine. My chest is caved in. So we reach, reach, reach. Keep the chest open, shoulders down. Nice length through both sides of the body. Legs are equally strong. You can think even about cinching your inner thighs in here if you would like. Take 2 more rounds of breath. And then using an in-breath, reach up, pull yourself out. Turn now the right toes, like your left toes forward. Open. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Open the chest. Take a full in-breath. And then a little bend to the knees, into the hips. Exhale, forward, forward, forward. And if it's hard to interlace your fingers here, you can bring your hands to your hips, drive your elbows back, and maybe just reach across. So your choice of an interlace, we're reaching for your hips. Pull the shoulders back. We want to open the chest. Take 2 more breaths with your bind. Nice, release your bind. Take a moment and just move it side to side. Or if it feels better in your body, then find stillness. Maybe take a bind, reach the arms in a different position. So this is where you get to step out of the box. I like to say, color outside the lines. Listen to your body. It's your practice. Do what feels the best for you. Good, make your way back to center. Bring your hands right underneath your nose. Lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to your hips, rise all the way up. Step to the front of your mat. Take a moment here. Hands at heart center. Just taking a moment to notice the breath, notice the energy you just created. Take one more round of breath. In breath, rise the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. In breath, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, find your plank. And then from here, I like to pause and set it. If you want to do your vinyasa a little faster, then go forward. If you need to, drop your knees, come forward just slightly. Exhale, lower half. In breath, pull your heart through. Exhale, tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. In breath, left leg up behind you, bend the knee, open, stack the hip. Inhale, straighten the leg up behind you. Exhale, bring it all the way through between your hands, back knee down, top of the foot down. Take a moment, lengthen the chest, take your time coming into it. When you're ready, in breath, rise all the way up. Good, now legs are open, draw the ribs in. A little cue if you feel this in your knee in the back. Press the top of your foot into the floor. That'll help alleviate some pressure into your knee. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Keeping the spine nice and long, start to come forward. Plant the fingertips, tuck your back toes. Bring it all the way up into a high lunge. Take your time getting set here. When you're ready, rise up. Take 2 more rounds of breath. From here, dropping the back heel down, spin open, warrior 2. Take a moment, always get your alignment right here, okay? Make sure you can see your big toe. Back leg is strong, fingertips reaching. Draw your hips in. We're gonna find our flow here. In breath, straighten your front leg, reach up. Look up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time. Meet warrior 2. Adding archer to it, so straighten the front leg, reach up and back. Exhale, warrior 2. Follow your breath. One more round of breath. Pause here. Set up for our triangle, straighten your front knee. Hips back, fingers forward, reach, reach, reach. You can't reach anymore, transition. Hand down, hand up. Keep energy through the fingertips. Keeping the legs nice and strong, cinch your inseams of your legs in towards each other. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Find 2 more rounds of breath. Using an in-breath, rise the top arm up. Turn the toes now to the side of the mat. So in this round, I want to make it a little bit different. Turn your toes out towards the corners of your mat. We're going to find some eagle arms, so the right arm comes underneath the left, so you can interlace the fingers, if not, grab here. And then in-breath, start to lift the elbows. Exhale, bend, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Now here's where I want to give you the freedom. If you want to move and circle, shift, hang out somewhere, do that. Roll through your sides, the sides tight. So you can stay up and down if you would like, or you can move. It's your practice. I like to say in yoga, stay on your own mat. Take one more full round of breath. When you're ready, we'll meet all the way up. Release the arms, bring them down, shake them out. And breath, rise them up. And the left arm, exhale, under the right. Option to change it or stay with a similar flow. Just lengthen upward on your in-breath. On your exhale, fold. In-breath, find your flow. And 2 more breaths. When you're ready, exhale. Bring your arms down by the side. Make your way back to the center of your mat. Hands at heart center. Take a nice full cleansing breath. Full in breath. Exhale, let it go. We're going to make our way to the floor. In breath, rise up. Exhale, fold. In breath, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, come down to your knees. Take a moment in your variation of child's pose. Lengthen the arms out front, relax the head, the heart to the ground. Soften your shoulders. Come back to the breath. See if you can slow the breath down. Take 3 more breaths here. And gently bring yourself back up. Make your way to your seat. So an option here, if you have the time, to find Shavasana, lay all the way back. We're coming to the seat, hands to your knees, find a nice tall spine, allow the shoulders to relax down. Close your eyes. Take a moment here. Allow yourself to absorb your practice. Absorb this time that you've just given yourself, the beauty of movement, the beauty of breath, the beauty of allowing yourself to be present and let the external distractions go. Allow yourself to soften into your breath here. Keep your mind space clear. Allow a little smile to come to your face. A little smile is like a full body hug. Bring your hands together, heart center, a slight bow, the chin inward, keeping the smile on your face. Just a little smile of gratitude. Take one more full in breath. Nice soothing out breath. And during this time, allow yourself not to place any judgment on yourself, on others. If things get way too hectic for you, just find your seat, find your breath. Whether it's for 1 minute or 5 minutes, just allow yourself that time to let go. Tell the external world, I need a moment. Step aside. Give yourself that time. Thank you for sharing in my practice and allowing me to be a part of yours. Namaste. Go forth, enjoy your day. And join me again, so stay tuned for more.